Welcome to Safe Space, a place where we have difficult conversations but handle them with honesty, care, and caution, sometimes even courage. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that most people struggle with silently: pornography addiction and the steps towards that recovery. For some people, pornography is casual consumption. For others, it becomes compulsive, secretive, and even harmful. Harmful to your mental health, harmful to your self-esteem, harmful to your relationships, sometimes affecting even your productivity. I need you to understand this, that addiction thrives in silence. However, recovery thrives in truth, grows from truth. So today's conversation is not something for us to judge, it's not something for us to try and look at in a different way. However, we're here to understand, we're here to take accountability and also towards the steps of healing. This is Safe Space and I'm your host, 𝐒𝐩𝐤𝐬𝐬. Joining us today is Pako Makgosa. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm amazing.
All right, tell us a bit about Pako. Who is Pako?
Okay, so Pako Makgosa is a young man, 22 years of age. He schools at the Botswana University of Agriculture and Natural Resources, currently pursuing his degree in food science and technology. He is also the vice chairperson in the judiciary board for the same school. He's just a guy who enjoys gaming, tech, astrophysics, and cars.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's nice. So yeah, no, tech, cars, agriculture. I'm seeing farming, tractor.
Yeah.
Let's leave the sports cars, tractors.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into what we have here today.
Yeah.
What would you say was the first time you realized that you have an addiction to pornography?
Yeah, so I'd say the first initial time that I realized that this was really starting to be a problem was when it was no longer an issue of doing it in secrecy. It was just an issue of, I have to do it today, I have to do it tomorrow, I have to do it the day after that. So soon as I realized that I've been doing this for quite some time, that's when it really dawned on me that I think this is really starting to be a bit of a problem. And this was probably late 2021, somewhere around there. So yeah, that's really when I started realizing that maybe this is something that could grow into a way bigger problem if I don't see what to do with it.
Okay. And what would you say was the hardest part for you accepting that, no, I think I have a problem with this?
So the hardest part was there's a lot of stigma around pornography, especially being a guy. There's a lot of stigma from friends, family. So I think the hardest part was just accepting that this is now an addiction and this is something that either needs to stop or I really need to regain control of it. So that was probably harder than even letting go. Yeah.
Okay. So what role would you say it played in your life, in the sense of, was it escapism or loneliness, or how would you describe that?
I'd say at first it started as maybe just a little bit of lonelism. You know, you're alone. As you're growing up, you just try to discover yourself as a boy child. And then soon enough, it manifested into something that I just couldn't control anymore. Even when I wasn't lonely, I tended to just revert back to all of that. And that's really when I decided that this is really kind of being a problem. Yeah.
Okay. So how would you say it affected your self-esteem and the way you view intimacy? Because you're saying you're discovering yourself as a young boy, you're learning these things.
Yeah,
It's a new phase.
Yeah,
we
it's a
passed
very
through
new
it,
phase,
right?
yeah.
So what would you say, how did it affect your self-esteem and how you viewed intimacy as a whole?
Yeah, so the first time, I think I basically just did it to get an understanding of how it feels like. So initially it never really affected my esteem like that until I started making, new friends, different connections with other people, relationships. And then that's when it sort of dawned on me that this is kind of wrong. And then that's when the initial kick of self-esteem comes, when you start realizing that not everybody does this and this is not okay. That's when you start feeling that little bit of shame that comes with it. So yeah, that's honestly how it started feeling, a little bit shameful. So that obviously negatively impacted my self-esteem.
So we could say there was a sense of secrecy surrounding it.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means you had to keep to yourself certain parts of you, right, with your friends. So let's tap into that now.
Yeah.
The mental health. How did it affect you mentally? How did you process it? How did you handle it?
Yeah. So mentally, I wouldn't say it had too much of a strain on me mentally. However, I would say sometimes with something that you've turned into a pattern, it obviously will have a little bit of an impact on how you think and how you react to certain things or relations with other people. So I'd say that's the only aspect where it really impacted me mentally, because sometimes your mind drifts a lot into all these places when you're trying to maybe have an intimate moment with someone. You sort of end up drifting from that moment to maybe something you viewed 2 months back and all that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So with that sense then, how would you differentiate, or how would you say this is casual viewing and then this is now addiction? What would be the space between those two?
Yeah. So I'd say where you draw the line between just casual consumption and addiction is when you feel you have to do it every day. It's not necessarily you feeling like you have to do it. I feel it's your brain that's noticing that this is a pattern and you just want to continue that pattern. Like, even if you're not really feeling aroused by anything, you just feel it's very necessary to just do it today, do it tomorrow. And I feel for casual consumption, it's a once in a while thing, no specific pattern that you follow.
Okay, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I guess now we see that healing starts with acknowledgement. However, addiction hides behind silence, right? So we're going to jump into a break. In the next segment, we're going to be speaking on how this addiction has affected relationships, has affected day-to-day life. I'm your host, 𝐒𝐚𝐿, and you're watching Safe Space. Welcome back to Safe Space. Today we're having an honest and deep conversation on how we can handle and tackle pornography addiction and the recovery that comes with it. We're breaking the silence and the stigma surrounding it, also finding a way on how we can navigate it. So, Pako, let's run into this.
Yeah.
How would you say it has affected your relationships? Nkare romantically or in any other sense?
Okay. I'd say in terms of romantic relationships, obviously pornography addiction takes a bit away from your physical, intimate connections with your partner. That's something that's a definite effect of pornography. I find myself maybe losing focus sometimes during intimate moments, drifting off into what I've seen or what I've consumed. So in terms of romantic relationships, it'll definitely take away your physical connection with your partner. And with friends and family, I've realized that during that time when I was struggling with the pornography addiction, I was really kind of keeping to myself. I didn't want to associate too much with my family, be with them for long periods of time, because it starts feeling like they can see through you and they can see that you're hiding something. So that's something that I tended to avoid a lot.
In a sense, it affected the way you viewed intimacy in the real-time sense.
Definitely, yeah.
Looking into the emotional side now, was it, how did it feel? Were you present?
So emotionally, it really takes away how you're able to connect emotionally with your partner, because I just feel that sometimes you're looking for things that maybe aren't even real because you're consuming content that you end up thinking is a norm. So I think emotionally it definitely affects you negatively because you can't really connect as you are supposed to with either your significant other or friends. Yeah.
Given how you're saying it has emotionally taken you basically away from your people, were there moments whereby you felt like, hey, it's taken a hold of me, a toll of me? And how would you say you managed to navigate that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'd say the moment I noticed that it's really taking a toll on my relationships was obviously when your partner starts complaining about how it feels like you're not really connected with them emotionally and physically because your mind is too stuck on this addiction that you sort of dissociate yourself from your partner, even in intimate moments. So that's when it kind of really struck me that this isn't just a problem for me and a problem for people around me as well. So how I went about that, it was just a case of now I'm no longer in denial of this problem and I understand that it needs to stop, basically.
You're out of denial. You're now aware of what's happening with you. Who was the first person you sought help from and how did they receive it?
The first person I wasn't actually seeking help, but it really warranted me to tell them, was my girlfriend at the time. It was really hard telling her that, and obviously with the stigma that surrounds it, she was very, very negative towards it. So I decided to start talking to my cousin about it, and he then opened up to me as well to tell me it was something that he almost went down because of as well. So I'd say he was the one who was a little bit detrimental towards getting me back onto the right path.
I mean, recovery is not a straight line.
Yeah.
We face setbacks, we face difficulties, right? So when we come back, we're going into a short break. Once we come back, we're going to run through the recovery steps and how to navigate this and how to overcome this. You're watching Safe Space. Welcome back to Safe Space. Today's conversation is reminding us that addiction does not define a person, but the ability to seek help is what transforms a life. Pako, run us through how the recovery looks like for you.
So I'd say recovery, the first step towards it is obviously admitting that you have the addiction in the first place. Then it's more or less a case of you slowly moving away from the pattern that you've dived deep into. So if you were viewing pornographic content every day, maybe skip a day or two, maybe move on to skipping a week or two, just like that. So I'd say that really helps speed up your recovery.
You shared with us how it has been like discovering yourself, right?
Yeah.
Coming to that understanding, as well as reaching a point where you even shared with your girlfriend,
Yeah.
right? So how would you say intimacy, how do you view it now? Is it different? Have you navigated it a different way now during the recovery space?
Yeah. Okay, so intimacy, I'd say it's very much different from how I used to view it. The way I used to view it was exactly the way I saw on whatever material I was consuming. But now it's really starting to dawn on me that intimacy is not about all that, but about establishing that connection with your partner. So realizing that is really what got me to make the decision to really just leave that all behind me.
You gave us a strategy I would say worked for you in a sense. If you watch it 5 times this week, next week 3 times, 2 times, up until you reduce it down with days.
Yeah.
Would you say relapse is part of recovery?
Yeah. So relapse is really nothing to be ashamed of, because after all, this is an addiction and it's not going to go away the first time you try it, maybe not even the second time or even the third. The same with a drug and everything else you can be addicted to. It's not going to go away because you're fighting a pattern that you've really dived deep into. So relapse is very much part of the journey. Sometimes you will just feel like letting go of all this and going back to your old habits. Sometimes you will, but the important thing is to remember where you're trying to go. So if you're really trying to let go of this, even after the relapse, the journey still should continue.
You've broken it down for us. You've told us how it is for you yourself internally, how it is when navigating it with relationships wise, right? Now, what advice do you have for someone at home who is struggling with pornography? They are aware of this, like you said, you fall back on it, but you still get up.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them in tackling this?
Yeah, so I would say to anyone who is experiencing any sort of pornographic addiction, it's very difficult to let go. The journey starts with you accepting that you are addicted. If you still believe you're not addicted, then that's really what you should focus on. So you should just try to start, and once you've gotten to starting your journey towards recovery, there's really only yourself in your way.
Many a times there's stigma, there's shyness around this. So you've spoken on the perspective of on the receiving end, I would say, of the people around you.
Yeah.
Now, what advice do you have for them, the viewers at home, the family, the friends, the loved ones? What advice do you have for them when navigating this with someone who's dealing with this type of addiction?
Yeah, so what I'd like to say to someone who may know or not necessarily know someone who's addicted, I'd say the worst thing you can do for a person who's struggling with addiction is mentioning it every day in a very dark manner, which may cause them to be more reclusive and more secretive. It really doesn't help towards them either opening up to you or even admitting that they have a problem.
There is a difference now I'm seeing between just being pushing with the stigma and actually accepting, understanding that what this person is going through is not a regular thing. You can just like, we're done with this, right? So what does healing look like for you now, today?
So today, healing is honestly staying as far away as possible from any pornographic material, because still, even to this day, it is very much possible to relapse. So I do just try to stay as far away as possible from this, because it is a journey that I'm still taking. So relapsing will really just sideswipe me in a way. So that's really what I try to do.
Thank you so much for sharing today your journey, how it has been. I know it's not easy, but we truly appreciate that your honesty and your courage here at Safe Space.
Yeah.
Addiction grows in secrecy. Recovery grows in honesty. Many times we tend to joke about or even ignore how pornography addiction affects many times mental health, relationships, or even self-worth. But I want to tell you that accountability is possible, healing is possible, and freedom is very much attainable. Now, if there's someone at home who this conversation reached or touched in a very special way, I would advise you to speak to someone close to you or a therapist, seek help. And this has been Safe Space, and I'm your host, 𝐒𝐩𝐚𝐞.